In today's world of on-demand entertainment, few things are as central to our living rooms as a reliable streaming device. Roku, a pioneer in this space since its launch in 2008, has become a household name, transforming regular televisions into powerful smart hubs. Its mission has always been to make streaming simple and accessible for everyone. This is achieved through a user-friendly interface and a small, yet mighty, remote control. This handheld device is your wand, your key to a universe of movies, shows, and music. It's the bridge between you and endless hours of content, making its proper function absolutely essential for a seamless viewing experience. However, like any piece of technology, the Roku remote can sometimes encounter a glitch. You might find yourself frantically mashing buttons, but the cursor on your screen remains stubbornly still. Perhaps the volume controls have stopped responding, or the remote has become completely unresponsive after a software update or a power outage. These issues are surprisingly common and can bring your binge-watching session to a screeching halt. This is where a reset becomes your most valuable troubleshooting tool. A reset is designed to clear out any temporary software conflicts or communication errors between the remote and your Roku device, effectively giving it a fresh start. Before you start thinking about buying a replacement, it's important to understand why a reset is often the perfect solution. The remote communicates with your Roku player or TV through either infrared signals, like a traditional TV remote, or a direct wireless connection for more advanced voice remotes. Before diving into the reset process itself, taking a moment to gather the necessary items will make the entire procedure much smoother and more efficient. You won't need an elaborate toolkit or any specialized equipment. The required materials are simple and likely already within easy reach in your home. The primary item you will need is a fresh set of batteries. It is crucial that these are brand new and not pulled from another device. Using old or partially drained batteries can lead to misleading results, making you think the remote is broken when it simply lacks sufficient power to function or complete the pairing process correctly. In addition to the fresh batteries, you will need your Roku streaming device to be powered on and connected to your television. Make sure the TV is turned on and set to the correct HDMI input so you can see the Roku home screen. This visual confirmation is essential, especially when you are repairing an enhanced remote, as you will need to follow on-screen prompts to confirm that the connection has been successfully re-established. While not strictly necessary for the reset itself, it's a good idea to have a small, soft cloth, like a microfiber cloth, on hand. You can use this to gently wipe down the battery contacts inside the remote's battery compartment before inserting the new batteries. Finally, ensure you have physical access to your Roku player or streaming stick. For some reset procedures, particularly the repairing process for enhanced remotes, you will need to press the pairing button located directly on the Roku device itself. This button is often small and can be found in a recessed area on the back or bottom of the player. If you have a standard Roku remote, often referred to as a simple or IR remote, the reset process is incredibly straightforward. These are the remotes that do not have a voice search button or volume controls for your TV. They work just like a classic television remote, using an infrared light beam to send commands. This means they need a direct line of sight to your Roku device to function correctly. The reset for this type of remote is essentially a power cycle, designed to clear out any minor glitches by completely cutting off and then restoring its power source. To begin, turn the remote over and locate the battery compartment cover. Slide the cover off to expose the batteries inside. This might require a firm push with your thumb. Once the compartment is open, remove both of the batteries from the remote. This step is crucial, as it completely disconnects the power from the remote's internal processor. Don't be in a rush to put the new batteries in just yet. To ensure a full and proper reset, it's important to let the remote sit without any power for a short period. After removing the batteries, wait for at least 60 seconds. While this might feel like a long time when you're eager to get back to streaming, this waiting period is what allows the remote's internal memory to clear any faulty data that might be causing the issue. Once a full minute has passed, you are ready to repower the device. Take your fresh, brand new set of batteries and insert them into the compartment, making sure to align the positive and negative ends correctly according to the diagrams inside. With the new batteries installed, slide the cover back onto the remote until it clicks securely into place. Now you can test it. Point the remote directly at your Roku streaming player or Roku TV and press a few buttons, such as the home button or the directional arrows. If the reset was successful, you should see an immediate response on your television screen. Because this is an IR remote, there is no pairing process required. It should work instantly. If the remote is still not responding, double-check that there are no obstructions between the remote and the Roku device before moving on to other troubleshooting steps. For those with a Roku Voice Remote or Voice Remote Pro, the process involves an extra step: repairing. These point-anywhere remotes use a direct wireless connection, known as Wi-Fi Direct, rather than infrared. That's what allows you to use voice commands, control your TV's power and volume, and even plug in headphones for private listening. If this type of remote stops working, it's often because the wireless link has been disrupted. So, the reset process isn't just about power cycling the remote, but also about forcing it to re-establish its unique connection with your Roku device through a pairing sequence. The first step is identical to the simple reset, and, honestly, it's just as important. You need to perform a full power cycle on the remote itself. Turn the remote over, open the battery compartment, and remove the batteries. For the rechargeable voice Remote Pro, you won't be removing batteries. Instead, look for a small recessed reset button. You might need a paper clip to press and hold it for a few seconds. For battery-operated voice remotes, after removing the batteries, wait for about 60 seconds. While you're waiting, you should also restart your Roku device. You can do this by unplugging the power cord from your Roku player or TV, waiting another 60 seconds, and then plugging it back in. Once your Roku device has fully rebooted and you see the home screen on your TV, it's time to repair the remote. Put the fresh batteries back into your remote. Now, locate the pairing button. On most voice remotes, this is a small button inside the battery compartment, often near the bottom. On your Roku device itself, you'll find a corresponding pairing button, or sometimes a pinhole reset button. Press and hold the pairing button on your remote for about 5 seconds, or until you see the pairing light begin to flash. This means the remote is now in pairing mode and is actively searching for your Roku device. Almost immediately after the light starts flashing, a pairing dialog box should pop up on your TV screen. The system will automatically detect the remote and begin the pairing process. This usually takes only about 30 seconds. The on-screen dialog will let you know once the pairing is complete. At this point, your remote should be fully functional again. Test the voice search, volume controls, and directional buttons to make sure everything is working as it should. This repairing process basically creates a fresh, secure connection, clearing out the old one that may have become corrupted. Sometimes, even after carefully following all the reset and repairing steps, the remote might still refuse to work. If you've tried a full power cycle with fresh batteries and attempted the repairing process multiple times without success, well, it's time to consider other possibilities. First, you can use the free Roku mobile app, available for both iOS and Android smartphones. The app includes a full-featured remote function that connects to your Roku device over your Wi-Fi network. This isn't just a great temporary solution, but it's also an excellent diagnostic tool. If the mobile app remote works perfectly, you can be fairly certain the issue lies with your physical remote and not the Roku player itself. If the remote is still unresponsive and the app works, your physical remote may have suffered a hardware failure. At this point, reaching out for official help is your best course of action. You can visit the support section on the Roku website, where you'll find extensive troubleshooting guides, community forums, and options to contact customer support directly. To prevent future issues and keep your remote in good working order, a few simple maintenance habits can make a big difference. Firstly, always use high-quality batteries and replace them as soon as you see the low battery warning appear on your TV screen. This helps prevent that erratic behavior that can happen when power levels are inconsistent. It's also wise to keep the remote clean. Every so often, wipe it down with a dry cloth to remove dust and grime, and definitely be careful to avoid spills. Liquids are the sworn enemy of electronics and can cause permanent damage to the internal circuitry of your remote. Finally, consider the environment where you use your remote. For enhanced voice remotes that use a wireless signal, strong interference from other electronic devices can sometimes disrupt the connection. Devices like microwave ovens, cordless phones, or even multiple nearby Wi-Fi networks can cause temporary dropouts. While it's not always easy to control, just being mindful of potential sources of interference can help maintain a stable connection between your remote and your Roku device. By taking these simple preventative steps, you can make sure your gateway to a world of streaming stays responsive and reliable for years to come, keeping interruptions to a minimum.